Hello, cosmic rock stars, to a new episode of Silver Blue in this beautiful outside place. I'm Silvia and I'm here with.
BluJay, Birdie, baby, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a lovely day as we are. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I think every time the landscape just looks better and better, So, thank you for being here another day. Today, we're gonna talk about how to overcome challenges, how to be persistent, the importance of being persistent, and basically don't give up because it brings you to places like this.
Absolutely. Yeah, today we're going to talk about what being persistent can do for you in life and how to overcome your challenges by staying consistent and persistent, not stopping due to the little things that feel like they could hold you back, but instead keep pushing through, breaking through barriers and walls and obstacles. And yeah, so would you like to start?
Why did we choose this topic?
We chose this topic because we found that there are moments in our new adventure where obstacles come and make you feel like, damn, it's slowing me down, or damn, there's this barrier that it feels like is right there and that you can't push through. But we don't succumb to that barrier or that thought or those fears. When that happens, we get stronger and we decide it's time to keep moving forward. It's time to push a little bit harder than we have been. Not fall to the pain or fall to the fear, but instead stay persistent so that we can unlock beautiful ass blessings like this one.
Sometimes we fall to the pain a bit. But for me the key is how long you stay in that pain when things doesn't go like you would like them to go, or not as quick as you would like them to go. How much time do you spend just keep in that little kid being angry state, and why do things not happen like I want them to happen, and how much time do you spend in that state, and when how fast you can change to that state to okay, what do I need to learn from this to keep learning, evolving, and growing so I can actually achieve what I want to achieve.
Absolutely. So this just reminds me of a quote that I've picked up in life from being a fighter, a warrior. But when you get knocked down, you always have the choice to get back up. You can either get up or you can stay down and throw in the towel, right? But that's life. Life is going to happen. It's going to knock you down. There's things that you're not going to expect, right? And things won't always go as you have it planned out in your head. So there are going to come moments where you have to know how to maneuver. But the specific key in persistency is knowing when to get back up and keep moving forward, keep fighting in life. So that's just what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I think more and more I realize that success is not about doing it well. It's about how many times you come back, you get up after falling. Success is just being very, very resilient and being no matter how many times things go wrong, you're okay, let's try it again. And successful people, if you look at the people who've been successful in life, you can see, of course, many of them don't talk about it, or people don't look at that part. But this overnight success is after years and years of trial and error, and or trial and learning until finally there's something that clicks, and then suddenly you success. And I feel like it's so true, and we don't realize how important it is to fail. There's this when you're outside, this this happens. There are little noises, especially in Colombia. But for me, it's like how long I lost track. Basically, yeah, how many fails you're able to stand in life. If you're not able to stand any failures, what the so-called failures, because I believe nothing is a failure, just a learning process. If you're not able to cope with that, there's no way you can be successful. There's no way you're gonna keep growing and evolving until you get to the place of success. So for me, being successful is about being resilient.
Absolutely. And so to give first of all, I do want to read the definition of resilient because that's something that came up to me in very specific, various important times in my life. And the fact that you keep repeating that word, I want to share it with you guys, what that means. But success is not a straight line, right? That's another thing to give you a visual look at it. Success is not, a consistent uprising kind of thing.
We thought it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, it's like you start growing and growing, and you feel like it's gonna keep growing, and that's it. But yeah, it's not.
But that's not reality. In reality, success looks something like that.
It keeps like in the long term, you see it going up, but it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like the economy. If you like look at the economy, there's like ups and downs, but at the end it goes up, right?
Right. Okay, so there's two definitions to resilient, and I think both of these can be applied to our lives to continue to keep us persistent and keep us on the track of success, right? So the first, of a person or animal able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions, right? Now, my father told me after my first boxing win that I was very resilient, and he told me to look up the definition. And I was like, damn, okay, I am pretty resilient. So, of a substance or object, this is the second definition. Able to recoil or spring back into shape after bending, stretching, or being compressed. Now, if we look at both of those examples, you can apply it to many places in life. So, let's see. Let's say you've been bent out of shape. Let's say there was a point in your life where you were able to run a mile and work out every single day. And let's say you went a couple of months without doing any of that. And one day it hits you like, no, I have to get back to it. So you start by maybe jogging for 10 minutes. And then you realize that it's a lot easier because you already have the muscle memory within you from when you were doing it consistently every single day. So your resilience allows you to pick back up on it quicker than most because it's already programmed into it. Like you were bent out of shape and able to get right back into shape just like that. That's more of like the second definition I think I'm describing, right? Mm-hmm. The first, able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions.
Yeah, I think that's the one I mean when I say success. The key to success is being resilient.
Absolutely.
It's about how quick you recover from difficult situations and come back to what you got to do in order to succeed.
So, what are some difficult conditions you would consider resilience would be very effective to have?
All kinds.
Could you give an example, you think?
I think it's very if you see, I think it's very visual with athletes. I can think about when I was walking the Camino de Santiago again, right? So there are many people who get injured, or your feet hurt, your knee hurt, and some people give up. they're like, okay, I'm done. Like, this hurts. And some people take 1 or 2 days of rest, then come back to walk. I remember there was a day my feet were hurting so much, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 6 kilometers, which is not much at all compared to like what you usually walk in the Camino. But I was like, like instead of stopping, I'm just gonna do a bit and a bit, and then suddenly my muscles, or I don't know exactly what, but my body started getting used to it, getting used to like the walking part. And if I could have decided to stop and quit at that time, and I wouldn't have made it till the end. So I think there's a very visual example, but I think it happens everywhere. Every time you're trying something new, something challenging, because that's, like, if it's not challenging, it's not really something worth pursuing. Yeah, there's no growth, and like, what's the point? Like, if it doesn't challenge you, you can do it, but it's not big enough for you to grow. But I feel like, I don't know, every time you try something new, like becoming a coach and starting selling the program, and you start getting no's, and you can be like, okay, well, I'm not good enough, or this is not for me, I'm not good at selling, like whatever. Your mind can find 1,000 excuses why this is not working, and you can give up and go back to what you know. Or you can be like, okay, let's see, why am I getting so many no's? And then, like, instead of like reacting from the I'm bad at this, you can be like, okay, well, what do I need to change? What little things can I change to keep improving and make it better? So you can learn from it, or you can react to it, see it as a failure, and give up. And that is where I feel like resilience take a big part. And another part is that in anything you want to do in life, there's a period of time that you make an effort and make an effort and make an effort every day, and it feels like nothing happened. You don't see the result. Like, you're just doing the effort and you're not seeing the result yet. It's because whatever we are, how do you say cosechar in English? So like, if you plant a plant and then you get the fruits from that plant like a few months later, whatever fruits we're getting from life now is the fruit from the plant that we planted a few months ago or years ago. Yeah. Right? That's the fruits you're getting. The seeds that you're planting right now, you're gonna get the fruits maybe in a few days, maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few years, depending on what kind of plant it is, right? So there's this aspect of being patient and trusting that what you're doing is going to work that is essential, in my opinion, to succeed in whatever you do.
Absolutely. So that makes me want to ask you, what does patience have to do with persistency and success? How do you incorporate patience in that recipe?
I think patient and resilient go together in the way that you need to be patient in order to, like, when things don't go as you want them to happen, then you're like, you understand that it's a process, and then sometimes things don't happen as quick as you thought, right? There's this sentence that says people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, and what's the opposite of overestimate? And underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So we always feel like in the short term we're going to achieve way more than we can actually achieve. And the opposite happens as well. We're not fully aware of what we can achieve in the long term. So for me, being patient means trusting that process, trusting that even though in the short term things are not going as well or as quick as you would like them to go, you know that in the long term everything is gonna work out.
Absolutely. I love that. I always say that patience is a virtue. Well, probably not to you. I don't think I've said that much.
I heard it.
Yeah, I say that a lot though to people that I talk to because it's something that I've learned in life. It's a beautiful visual that you just conveyed here with the plant, you know. If you're planting or if you know anything about farming or gardening or anything like that, you don't get the fruit the moment after you plant the seed. You have to be patient. You have to be kind and caring and nurturing as this plant grows. You have to allow it to soak in and absorb the water and the sunlight and the love that you're putting into it. And I think that's a part of the journey that a lot of people miss due to the lack of patience, the lack of enjoying the journey and being patient and understanding that what you put in, you're going to get back regardless. And you just have to be okay with whatever amount of time that takes. And I could even go deeper and say that time is relative, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like sometimes what feels like forever is just a small blip in this long life that we live. It's not really forever unless you're feeling that and portraying that every single day. If you're talking about like how you wish things would happen faster and whatever else, like this is where patience comes in, where you understand like your blessings are going to come as long as you keep on pursuing whatever it is you want to pursue.
Definitely. And I feel like I love what you said about enjoying the process. And, some people can be like, how can I enjoy the challenges? But it's, for me, how can I enjoy the challenges is the same question as how can I enjoy life? Because life is it's full of challenges. It's like challenge after challenge after challenge. So learning to enjoy even when there are challenges is basically learning to enjoy life. So yeah, I think it's so important because you can have goals and maybe you achieve a goal every a few months or maybe once in a lifetime, depending on what goal you have. And the excitement for achieving that goal can last a few days, a few weeks, a few months in those big goals that it takes years to get. So if you only enjoy whenever you achieve those goals, you're gonna enjoy very little of this life. Because most of the times we're like solving challenges. We're in the process of solving challenges. So another lesson for me from the Camino de Santiago was it's important to have goals, it's important to know where you're going, but it's more important to enjoy the process, to enjoy every tree, even every pain that you feel during the way. Just learn to enjoy and grow from it, because at the end of the day, that's what you're gonna remember.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Like, it's very important because that is life. Life is full of challenges, twists, and turns that you won't always be prepared and expected for. But enjoying that journey and being patient with whatever comes your way is like, it's like the key. It's like the hack to life. Like, I have, it's like if you see people that, if you might happen to be one of these people who tell yourself, right, that you're impatient or you don't like to be patient, then you're tricking yourself into not enjoying the life that you've been blessed with. The opposite hand of that is telling yourself that patience is going to bring you everything you need. I feel like for me, that's how I've manifested so many beautiful things in life. It's just being okay with everything that happens, whether it's a challenge or a victory. It's a beautiful process. It's a beautiful life to live. Like, you got to be patient when you lose. You have to know how to look at a loss as a lesson and see what you've learned from that. And the patience that you have with yourself in a moment like that will teach you everything you need to know for every other blessing that you're going to receive in due time. I think patience is the key to the recipe with resilience and with, what was the other thing that we said? There was another piece.
Patient, resilient to success.
No, persistent. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But yeah, like,
Yeah, they're, in my opinion, they're all kind of like the same thing.
yeah, they are. I kind of want to find the other definitions too. Maybe we should give you guys a little bit more.
Persistent and patient.
Persistent.
Okay, let's go for it. Let's look at the definition of persistent.
All right. Continuing to do something or try to do something even though it is difficult or other people want you to stop.
It's like resilient.
It's resilient, yeah.
Well,
or
this is-
patient in a way.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of the same. It's like different aspects of the same kind of concept.
Absolutely. But all in all, learning these perspectives of one concept, ultimately what they teach you to do is live a fulfilling life, like a wholesome life that you can be proud of, and that helps you to unlock more of what you want. So if you can master persistency, resilience, patience, these things will open doors for you that you might have never even dreamed of if you hadn't been able to utilize them to the full extent, I believe.
Definitely. And I'm reading now the book of Atomic Habits. And another thing I've found very interesting is how James Clear talks about the importance of not focusing that much on the goals, but focusing more on the systems. So what are the systems behind those goals? Like the systems is like the what you're doing to achieve those goals. Sorry. So instead of focusing on how I'm gonna, like if I'm getting closer to the goal or not, it's more about how can I improve the systems. The systems that the things that I do every day to put me closer to my goal, instead of focusing that much about how close or far away from my goal I am, you focus more on the systems and make it better, more effective, more efficient, and that is what makes you closer and closer and closer while you're in the process, because you're focusing on what I need to do today and you're not only thinking about the big goal that can be like overwhelming and you think it's so far away, but instead it's like, okay, what do I need to do today to be 1% closer to that goal, and 1%.
Yes, indeed. It's all about your systems. If you need a system to keep you motivated or to keep you patient or to keep you in ambitious efforts to move forward, you probably already have the answers on what to do and just need to follow yourself, follow your inner voice telling you what you need to do. But if not, I have a program that can help you. No, just like but yeah, I think you said that beautifully. I don't even know how to run off of that.
That's beautiful. I feel like we can keep this episode short.
I think so, yeah. Like, the key to living a fulfilled life is to understand that there's going to be...
Instead of clapping the airplanes, we can clap the cars.
Yeah, we'll clap for moving forward. So, understanding that there are challenges in life, everybody has some kind of struggle that they're going through at some point in time. They're going to happen, it's inevitable. But being patient with understanding that the fact that they came into your journey for some reason, for you to learn something, and being patient with the knowledge that you're going to receive it's going to open up so many doors for you if you can just make that one switch. Stay persistent, move through the challenge, and understand that you're going to learn on the other side of it. All right? And so, yeah, I think that's a great way to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's not a matter of if it's gonna happen, but when it's gonna happen. If you go with that perspective, then every time something doesn't go like you would like it to go, then you can be like, okay, well, it's not a matter of if. You're not questioning all the time if you're gonna make it or not, because that's tiring. Being like, am I gonna make it or not? Every time there's a challenge, you question your own value and like ability to do it. Instead of that, just trust that if you want to achieve that, if you really want to achieve it, you can do it. And then there's this sentence from this Spanish rapper that I love, El Chojin. He says like something like, I realized, like, don't wish me luck, wish me like that I have the energy to overcome the challenges in my fight to be better. So basically, like, what he says is like, like, don't wish me luck, but wish me that I'm resilient and that I have that persistent every time the challenge is gone. So definitely, I think that was the main message of this episode. We were talking about this episode because it's something that we're seeing firsthand and seeing the power of being resilient and persistent. And of course, when challenges come, you're just like, oh my gosh, again, like, and doubts come. But I think it's important to remember this part. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen.
Absolutely. We were looking for a place with a beautiful view and a high place with a nice window, because where we were living before this, it felt like a bunker almost. There was no window.
It was nice, but there was no window.
Yeah, it was very nice. Don't let me get you wrong, but I mean, we wanted better and we got better. We just stayed patient, fought through it together, and now we're here. So if we can do it, you can do it as well. And blessings to you guys. I hope that you take some great knowledge away from this conversation to be able to use in your life moving forward. I'm sure you will. Just stick to it.
Definitely. Love you guys.
Love you, Cosmic Rock Stars. See you next time on Silver Blue.